What's good, and welcome back to another video. Yes, and I bet you're wondering, bro, where have you been? Well, obviously we had the Singapore trip earlier this year and that was awesome. But since I got back, we've been super busy with work and it has been non-stop. Is that an excuse as to why I haven't really been doing anything with YouTube? No, not at all. I just haven't really made it a priority and I felt probably a little bit creatively burnt out after doing client work and trying to figure out where I want to take my personal work and sort of enduring a little bit of a creative block. In saying that, there has been lots of cool projects. I've worked with lots of cool people. I've been super happy with everything that I've been producing. Realistically, it's a self-reflection on myself. I guess I want to push harder and get more out of what I'm doing. I guess on an update side of things, there's been some cool stuff we've been up to, a few things that we're putting into place, a few ideas getting flown around. So I guess we'll see where they end up at towards the end of the year. In regards, I guess, to YouTube, I will have another video that comes out after this that was actually produced at the start of the year, and it took me a little bit of time to get together, but it is a little bit more of a behind the scenes of what goes on a campaign shoot with a different type of brand that I would normally shoot. Now, I'm super grateful and super thankful for all the positive feedback on the last video, and I was really happy to see that. So hopefully moving towards the end of the year, I'll be able to take the camera along and show you guys a little bit more behind the scenes of some shoots that I'm on and the things that I think about when it comes to lighting, setup, what we're doing, what we're looking for, and then give you guys some insight as to what goes on into a day like that. Now, with that little update sort of out of the way, let's talk about Singapore. Most of you probably don't know, but I'm actually half Singaporean. I was born there. I love Singapore and it holds a very special place to my heart. On this trip, it was Kat's first time going there and I was super stoked to show her around and show her a little bit of like where I come from and some of like the awesome places that I had been growing up as a kid. Now, I gotta give props to Kat. She got sick 2 days into our trip and she was bedridden. But you know what? She dragged herself out of bed. She went to all the spots that I had planned to show her around. It was stinking hot, and look, I get it. Nobody at the best of times probably wants a camera shoved in their face. She got up there. She went out to all the spots. She stood where I told her to. She got photos taken. She had video taken, and she did an awesome job. I really do appreciate that, and I hope she really loves the shots we got. Now, in regards to some of the gear that I took overseas on this trip, I did take the Sony A7S3, which is what I'm filming on right now. I also picked up a brand new camera probably a few weeks before we left, and I managed to pick up a Fujifilm X-E3. I have used Fujifilm cameras before, and I guess I didn't so much get caught up in the hype, but I did want something that I could use as like an everyday carry style of camera. What I like about the X-E3 is it's basically an X100V, but with an interchangeable camera. It is a few years older, give or take, closing in on 10 years, but I found it very cool to use. I also took my film camera, my Canon EOS 5. Now, I didn't use it at all on the trip just because what I found was taking a video-only camera and a photo-only camera. I ended up prioritizing those two and just realizing that I kind of, when we travel, want to get something that is all-encompassing. In saying that, I really loved all the photos that I got out of my X-E3, and I was actually really surprised as to how much I used the A7S III for photo, and I was actually super surprised with how good they looked. So the one lens that I did bring to Singapore was the 24-70 G Master, and I suppose the one reason I shot on the S3 that much was because that lens was so versatile. I often found myself in places where I just needed something a little bit more wider than the X-E3 could provide me with the crop sensor because I've only bought the one lens, but I wanted to just try and capture as much as possible from our perspective. In fairness, the X-E3 did force me to be more creative with my shots, which I really did enjoy. With that all being said, let's get into this visual experience of Singapore through my eyes. I hope you enjoy the video, and remember, get out there, get creating, and I will see you in the next one.